Zalmoxis taught the Thracians that death was merely transformation. Welcome to Deca Rankings. The topic for today is Top 6 Most Powerful Thracian Gods. In the wild mountains and dense forests of ancient Thrace, a fierce warrior culture worshipped gods as untamed as the land itself. The Thracians, famed throughout the ancient world as horsemen, warriors, and mystics, created a religion blending ecstatic worship with martial prowess. Their gods controlled life, death, and the mysterious passage between mortal existence and immortality. Today we rank the 6 most powerful gods of Thracian mythology, from the least to the most mighty. We will explore their domains, their worship practices, and how their wild spirituality challenged the ordered pantheons of more civilized peoples. However, due to limited surviving written records from Thracian culture itself, much of our knowledge comes from Greek and Roman sources, archaeological evidence, and comparative mythology. The exact nature and hierarchy of Thracian deities remains partially uncertain. Number 6. Heros. Heros, the underworld horseman deity, served as guide and protector of souls journeying to the realm of the dead. The Thracians depicted him as a mounted warrior riding through the afterlife, offering safe passage to the deceased. Countless stone reliefs across Thrace show Heros on horseback approaching an altar, receiving offerings from mortals seeking favor for their departed loved ones. His cult was intensely personal, with individual families maintaining shrines and making regular offerings. Unlike the grim Greek Hades, Heros represented a more heroic, warrior aspect of death, the belief that brave souls continued as mounted warriors in the afterlife. Thracian burial practices involved elaborate tomb furnishings, including horse sacrifices, reflecting the importance of Heros to their death beliefs. His worship spread beyond Thrace, particularly to regions with Thracian populations, where thousands of his reliefs have been discovered. Heros embodied the Thracian ideal that death was not an ending, but a transition to continued existence as a mounted guardian spirit. Number 5. Derzalus. Derzalus, god of health and vitality, presided over physical well-being and the life force flowing through all living things. The Thracians worshipped him as a healing deity who could cure diseases, strengthen the weak, and restore vigor to the exhausted. His cult involved both prayer and practical medicine, with his priests serving as healers who combined herbal knowledge with religious ritual. Sanctuaries dedicated to Derzalus often featured natural springs, believed to have curative powers blessed by the god himself. Sick pilgrims traveled great distances to bathe in these waters and make offerings seeking restoration of health. Unlike other Thracian gods associated with warfare and death, Derzalus represented life, growth, and the preservation of mortal existence. The Thracians believed he could grant not just recovery from illness, but enhanced strength and endurance to warriors and athletes. In a culture known for fierce warfare, Derzalus represented the necessary balance, the acknowledgement that strength requires health, and victory requires keeping warriors alive and vital. Number 4. Sabazios. Sabazios, the Sky Father and horseman deity, commanded authority over both celestial and earthly realms. The Thracians depicted him as a rider god, whose horse's hooves thundered like storm clouds across the heavens. His worship involved ecstatic rituals, where participants believed they could directly experience union with divine power through trance and possession. Sacred snakes played a central role in his mysteries, with live serpents handled during ceremonies symbolizing both danger and divine wisdom. Unlike the orderly worship of Greek and Roman gods, Sabazios demanded emotional intensity and personal transformation from his devotees. His cult spread widely throughout the ancient Mediterranean, particularly attracting those dissatisfied with conventional religion's emotional restraint. His symbols, the raised hand blessing, the serpent, and the horse, appeared in thousands of votive offerings across the ancient world. He represented the Thracian belief that true divinity required passionate engagement, not distant philosophical contemplation. Number 3. Kotys. Kotys, goddess of ecstasy and frenzy, presided over wild nocturnal rituals that dissolved normal social boundaries. Her worship involved frenzied dancing, music, and altered states of consciousness, induced through rhythmic movement and possibly intoxicants. The Kotitia, her secret festivals, were so notorious for excess that even the permissive Greeks considered them scandalous. Participants in her mysteries experienced possession by the goddess, speaking in tongues and displaying supernatural strength and endurance. Women particularly found liberation in Kotys worship, where gender restrictions of daily life temporarily vanished in ecstatic communion. The rituals occurred in wild places, forests, mountains, and caves, far from civilized settlements and their restrictive social norms. Her priests and priestesses served as guides through these dangerous spiritual territories where madness and enlightenment bordered each other. Kotys represented the Thracian understanding that divine truth sometimes requires breaking through civilization's comfortable illusions through extreme experience. Number 2. Zalmoxis. Zalmoxis, god of sky and immortality, taught the Thracians that death was merely transformation leading to eternal existence. According to Herodotus, Zalmoxis was either a god or a deified mortal who descended into an underground chamber for 3 years before returning, proving that death could be overcome. His teachings formed the core of Thracian beliefs about immortality, making them fearless warriors who welcomed death as passage to a better existence. The Getae, the most northerly Thracian tribe, were called immortalizers because they believed Zalmoxis granted eternal life to faithful followers. His worship involved complex initiations, where devotees learned secret knowledge about the soul's journey and methods to ensure immortal existence. Unlike Greek concepts of a shadowy underworld, Zalmoxis promised conscious, joyful immortality for those who lived virtuously and died bravely. His teachings influenced Greek philosophy, particularly Pythagoras, who allegedly studied with Thracian priests to learn about the soul's immortality. Zalmoxis represented humanity's deepest hope, that consciousness survives death and that mortal existence is merely preparation for eternal life. Number 1. Bendis. Bendis, the great goddess of moon and hunt, reigned supreme in Thracian religion as the most powerful and widely worshipped deity. She ruled over the night, the wilderness, and the hunt, commanding both mortal hunters and the wild animals they pursued. The Thracians depicted her carrying hunting spears and accompanied by dogs, riding through moonlit forests in eternal pursuit. Her worship involved nocturnal rituals and torch-lit processions that honored the moon's mysterious power over nature and human consciousness. Unlike the virginal Greek Artemis, Bendis embraced more complex aspects of femininity, including sexuality, motherhood, and the destructive side of nature. Her festivals, called Bendidaea, involved all-night celebrations with torch races, sacrifices, and ecstatic dances under the open sky. The cult spread from Thrace into Greece itself, where Athens officially adopted her worship in the 5th century BCE, building temples and establishing annual festivals in her honor. When Rome absorbed Thracian territories, Bendis merged with Diana but retained distinctive Thracian characteristics emphasizing wild nature over civilized order. She represented the Thracian understanding that the greatest power in the universe was feminine, lunar, and eternally wild, a force that civilization could honor but never fully domesticate or control. These Thracian gods embodied a spirituality wilder and more intense than the ordered pantheons of Greece and Rome. From ecstatic frenzy to the promise of immortality, from healing vitality to the moon's eternal hunt, they offered direct, passionate connection to divine power. Though Thracian civilization vanished, absorbed by expanding empires, their gods' influence survives in mystery religions, philosophical concepts of immortality, and the eternal human hunger for spiritual experiences that transcend rational boundaries. Like this video, and subscribe to Deca Rankings for more videos like this.